What is up, members of my collector corps? It is I, Super Mario Zilla, or you can call me Vinny, and today we will be taking a look at the S.H.MonsterArts Jet Jaguar 1973. Jet Jaguar was revealed in celebration of his 50th anniversary, so awesome. A new anniversary Showa figure, Jet Jaguar, was coming, but unfortunately, the figure fell short of a few aspects upon its reveal. It was not accurate despite Bandai claiming it was, and many try to argue that, saying it's meant to represent how he looked in the short film. Guess what? It's still off, and even then, it's a pointless argument because this is known as the 1973 version of Jet Jaguar. So if it's the version that appeared in Godzilla vs. Megalon, why isn't it 100% suit accurate? Already not off to a good start. And the figure clocks in at an MSRP of $100. Absolutely ridiculous and unacceptable for this figure to be that much, especially with as many shortcomings as this figure has. Even the articulation and engineering is no better than a 1.0 figure arts. Where's the communication? Why is this figure so backwards? Is there a reason for that? I know Figure Arts and Monster Arts are two different design teams, but Jet should have had at least 2.0 style articulation. So yeah, this figure is not impressive. But is it a bad figure? Let's not waste any more time and see if this figure is still worthy of a spot on your Showa Godzilla shelf. As I've said before, this figure is not accurate to the source material. Bandai can claim all they want how they captured the figure one-to-one, it's not true. And you know what? It's blatant false advertising. See, the problem isn't that the figure is not accurate. The problem is that Bandai is advertising it as accurate when it clearly isn't. The face is not on point. I've looked at plenty of comparison pictures such as this one, and yeah, it's not there. The color is off. The yellow should be more orange and not this bright yellow color. The logo's texture is also not correct, and the legs are far too wide because if you look at this picture here, does it look like the legs are wider than friggin' Jupiter? No, they're not. So even anatomically, the figure has issues. The paint job is clean, I'll give it that. Everything is applied nicely and no slop anywhere, so I'll give the figure that much. And the figure features a bunch of sculpted details despite not being accurate, so yeah, that's all fine and dandy, but still, this isn't what Jet Jaguar should look like. If you're going to claim he's the 1973 version of Jet Jaguar, I demand 100% accuracy on this figure. At least with the first MonsterVerse release of Kong, they made it clear it wasn't going to be accurate to the film, and it worked because they weren't pretending or claiming it was accurate. Here though, they are claiming they made it accurate, and it clearly is not if you have the eye for details like some of us do. Overall, Jet Jaguar disappoints on accuracy all over. Yes, you're right, it doesn't look bad at all, but it should be accurate to the film since they're claiming it is. I know I'm using that word a lot, claim, but can you blame me? Jet Jaguar's articulation is akin to Figure Arts 1.0. And for a figure nowadays, that's kinda sad and pathetic. So, what gives? Why is it 1.0 style articulation? Why isn't it 2.0 or 3.0? I don't know. But articulation is not technically bad, it's just not as posable or as fluid as it could have been. Let's go over what he's got. Head is on a double ball peg, so he can look this high up, can look this far down, can look side to side, and lean side to side, although the collar does get in the way a little bit. Shoulders are on ball joints. Can also hinge upward to just about 90 degrees. That's kind of pathetic. I expected it to be more. Can rotate. Biceps can swivel. But it's technically in the elbow, because the elbow is designed as a really weird joint. Like, I don't know how to explain it. But still, for elbow articulation, you get a little bit more than 90 degrees. Just keep in mind there is some gapping. A little bit more than 90 degrees, so that's not bad. Ball hinge wrists. Ball joint here and here, so he can crunch forward. Just about this far forward. And backward. Just about this far backward, which is really good. And of course he can lean and rotate. Now this piece right here is made out of a softer plastic to have more give for the articulation, so that's nice. It's not rubber, thank God. It's just a softer material, that's all. Legs are akin to 1.0 because it has a pull down style hinge for more range of movement. And the thigh swivel is also within the leg. Yeah. Legs can kick forward, just about this far forward, backward, not so much, splits, without breaking it. Just about, almost. Knees, this is a little bit weird. Okay, so the knees normally will bend backward. People have been bending it backward about this much and say that's all you can get. That's pathetic. Actually, it pops down. It pops down and you get a lot more range. Yeah, I was surprised to see that. So that's some engineering that I can appreciate. It pops back in with no problem. Just have to put some force in it. Not a lot of force. You don't want to break it. And ankles are on a swivel hinge. So he can kick them back pretty much all the way. Kick them forward, again, pretty much all the way. And ankle rocker is excellent. So his articulation, as I've said before, is not bad. You can still pose him and have fun with him. He's just not as posable as he could have been. There are some limitations that don't make sense, and overall, the structure of the figure is the reason why he may look a little bit awkward. Like, the legs is the biggest contention to that. Like, where the thighs are, he just looks so boxy and spread apart. It really feels like it should have been 3.0 to make it more... what's the word I'm looking for? Say, fluid? I guess that's the word I'm looking for, to make it look more uniform, I guess I could say. So, yeah, do keep in mind, it's not bad posability. It's just not what it could have been. Jet Jaguar with accessories has everything he needs. Besides maybe rocks or something, I can't name any other stuff that could have been included. He's good in this department, but that doesn't mean the package is worth $100. Still, let's see what he's got. First, the interchangeable eyepiece, which is a light aqua blue, looks awesome, I must admit. Switching the eyepieces is easy. Pop the face off the head, use the tool they provide to switch the eyepieces, pop the default one out and place in the new one, and there you go. In all honesty, I really do love how this looks. It looks really cool. Definitely going to be my go-to way to display him. Next are his flight mode accessories. Switching these is incredibly nerve-wracking. They are so easy to lose, so please be careful not to lose these and handle them as delicately as possible. Both of the side antennas get switched out for the antenna that go outward, and the antenna in the middle slides out. Very, very small piece. And switches out for a longer antenna, and there you go, Jet is in flight mode. Now, if you lose the skinny antenna, you're not completely out of luck, because Bandai was nice enough to include replacement pieces if you lose them. So that's good at least. For the hands, he has 2 fist hands, 2 open hands, 2 chopping hands, and 1 thumbs up hand for the right. Classic for Jet to have the thumbs up hand. And finally, a small Jet Jaguar figure which is unpainted. I honestly don't see the point in including this. I would have been completely fine without it. It's just nothing special. It's an unpainted Jet, it looks lame. Also, mine has a QC issue of leaning backwards, so I'll need to fix that later with heat. Overall, Jet is fine with accessories, but it's nothing that screams $100. He comes with everything he needs, and that's good, but it's not enough for $100. Here's a size comparison with other figures you may or may not own. Jet scales great with other figures like Godzilla's and other monsters like Gigan, so if you need him up on the display, you should have no problem. Jet is disappointing, so disappointing, and you want to know the sad thing? The sad thing that ironically saves this figure? It's not even bad. Yes, I don't think it's a bad figure. 7 out of 10. It's just not the figure it could have and arguably should have been. This could have and should have been so much more. If Jet wasn't advertised as being accurate, the inaccuracies would have been forgivable. The articulation engineering is hard to forgive because we're now in the 3.0 era of Figuarts articulation. This should have been styled as a modern day Figuarts. Why does it look no better than the Figuarts 1.0? That is ridiculous, and that price, $100? Forget it. Not worth it. Get this figure for sale, it's not worth MSRP. Find this figure for sale. Nothing about this screams $100. Some Figuarts that come with more accessories than this figure don't even cost $100. So you tell me what the heck is Jet's excuse and where's the logic in that? There is none. I said it before, I'll say it again. The figure isn't bad, and you know what, in some ways it is kinda cool. It does have some good qualities and is fun to pose sometimes. If you're a fan of Jet Jaguar and are a completionist for the line, chances are you have this figure, but otherwise, don't pick it up unless you're a hardcore fan or find it for sale. Too many issues to justify the price. The figure ain't bad, but it could have been so much more. But Bandai botched the release by straight up lying about it.